When my brother bought my son a motorbike for his birthday, it sparked a huge argument between us. My son insisted on riding it without a helmet, but I refused to let him. Furious, he stormed out of the house and rode off without one anyway. I cried my eyes out, but that was only the beginning of my nightmare. An hour later, I got a call from the police saying my son had crashed at over 80 miles per hour and was in critical condition. His legs were completely destroyed, and a piece of his skull was lodged in his brain. Thankfully, the doctors managed to save his life, but he fell into a coma. My brother felt awful and offered to cover all the expenses for his life support for as long as needed. But over time, I couldn't bear to see my son in that state anymore, and we decided to move away. 2 years later, we made the hardest decision of our lives, to return and take him off life support. On the flight there, the thought of letting my son go was tearing me apart. After we landed, I saw countless missed calls from my brother and the hospital, but I couldn't bring myself to answer them. I didn't want to make this any harder than it already was. When we arrived at the hospital and walked into the room, I was ready to say goodbye, but when I looked inside, I nearly fainted. My son was awake. I thought I was dreaming, but it was real. He remembered everything, and we cried in each other's arms for days. He apologized over and over for being so reckless. That moment turned my darkest nightmare into the most incredible miracle of my life.